Hello and welcome to Punk Science TV. I'm Dr. Manjir, and this episode, if it doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will, because we're talking about why so much oil and coal is found in space. And a few years ago, Saturn's moon Titan actually we actually discovered there was more oil in on Saturn's moon Titan than there is on Earth itself. So Titan has massive oil reserves. So people obviously started to wonder whether or not we can actually mine space for oil, and so that's one thing that obviously came up. But it isn't just Titan that has oil either. So we have now found oil and kerosene and sort of a form of sort of crude oil on Mars as well. And this was originally found in around 2018. And from 2018, people have further investigated this and realized that it's the same sort of chemicals that you find in oil and coal, and also, believe it or not, truffles. So that's what you can see on the right hand side there. So, what is going on? Well, it doesn't even stop there, because we can find even more, because it's even found that coal and kerosene, that's that sort of form of crude oil, actually comes out of stars. It's actually been sort of just emitted from stars. So absolutely incredible. And we've even found a mega ocean of oil on the other side of the universe. So it can be fair to say that coal and oil, and if you watched Punk Science TV before, you know that diamonds have been detected from coming around galactic centers and from stars, which is quite amazing, and on planets and on moons, which is amazing. So what's going on? Because haven't we always been told that the way that coal and oil have formed on this planet is from fossils of previous life forms? So things like trees, for example, trees sort of fall into a swamp millions of years ago, fell into a swamp, and then uh, heat and compression magically transforms it into coal. And same with ocean life becoming oil. So, this is why we call it fossil fuels. Now, there's a very, very important book by somebody called Thomas Gold called The Deep Hot Biosphere. He was a physicist who actually wrote an excellent book about how it makes more sense from the pattern of how oil and coal are deposited on the earth, that it's, it comes up from the earth and not down from the surface. So that's really, really important. And he was a physicist, so he did a lot of research. And I really recommend this book if you want to do some more reading on this, because he explains it all very well. So we're in the situation where it looks like, instead of coal and oil coming from trees and from marine life, that it's actually coming from below upwards. And it's not just doing that on the earth, but it's also doing that all over the universe, not just solar system. So as you know, we talk about black hole principle on Punk Science TV, and the same pattern is going at every single level, from black holes in the galactic centers to planets to moons, all down to the atom. That it's all doing the same sort of pattern. So this is what I'm proposing, that actually we've got it wrong. The coal and oil and the hydrocarbons that we find both on Earth and in space are actually coming from the center of these bodies themselves. They're being produced in this black hole principle behavior, just like water, just like many of the particles that come out, just like the jets. This is where creation happens. So, if I'm right, we would expect to find that we could see oil or coal or something coming from a galactic center. And we do indeed find that. So if I just go to that picture, so um, Greece in Space is a headline of this, and you can see this is a credible source, Royal Astronomical Society. So we found hydrocarbons and in space that resemble sort of they're oily, they're greasy, and they have been found, as you can see, in the galactic center. So it definitely is in the place that we'd expect it if black holes themselves are producing oil. And that same principle, the black hole principle, is creating oil and coal at every single level. So from Titan to Mars to Earth. So we need to really rethink are models of how we think hydrocarbons appear. Hydrocarbons appear all over space and even on comets and asteroids. So, as far as we can see, we don't see any trees, we don't see much marine life. So, we need to rethink our models of how these so called fossil fuels are created. Doesn't mean that we have to mine them, but we can actually create a new model of how this creation of so-called fossil fuels happen. So this is completely radical and mind-blowing. You can see more on my blog, which is drmangier.com/fossil, and I've got lots of great resources there that you can do some further reading. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Punk Science TV. And if you want to see more of this, which is how the universe really works instead of how people just think and assume it is, then please subscribe on Facebook or on YouTube. And I hope to see you next time. Take care. I hope you're well. Bye bye.